Hello and welcome to the chat room with Tema. On this show, I will be taking your captains of industry on an adventure, and we get to dive in deep on their day-to-day lifestyle. Hello and welcome to the chat room with Tema. On the show today, we have Zishan, who is also running Star Medical. Star Medical is called a one-stop shop. We're going to find out from Zishan why they call it a one-stop shop. So Zishan, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Tara.
And thank you very much for having me. So tell me a little bit about why you call Star Medical a one-stop shop.
Basically, Star Medical Center, we put this up medical center in the year 2022. After I had been working here in the healthcare facilities for about 4 to 5 years prior to that, and I came up with this strategic idea of putting up a full house OPD center in Planta itself. Basically, this means that we're trying to Star Medical Center is not just a clinic, it's like a center of its own which has different departments in itself. It's got its own clinics, we've got a laboratory, we've got a radiology department, we also have a pharmacy dispensary. So we call it it's not actually a one-stop shop, but we like to call it a one-stop shop is because, the OPD departments, all the departments over here are under one roof. Okay. It's not like you'll be prescribed to say, okay, go outside and get this test done, unless we don't have that available, of course. Okay. But otherwise, all your basic tests up to a certain limit are covered here. Also, we accept insurance companies. In fact, we also have a radiology department wherein if you need a scan or an ECG or an X-ray or something like that, we do offer those services as well. So basically, when a patient enters to see a doctor for something really small, we did not go into the hospital aspect is because not a lot of people like to go to hospitals for something small like a flu or something, So when a patient walks in here, he sees the doctor, also can get his own lab tests done if any scans are needed, and also collect medication and walk out from this one roof instead of going to different places. That's why we call it a one-stop shop.
Have you always been passionate about hospitals, or it's just something that came along the way?
In fact, I myself, as a child, I wanted to be a dentist, but then as I grew up, my mind changed, of course, and I got into some other fields. Of course, I was studying science, and I started working with one of the private hospitals in Malawi. And after working for a few years is when I realized that we do need to get into healthcare, and that's the reason we come up with the Star Medical Center.
The transition from being an architect to running a medical center, that's a serious transition.
Indeed, it is. It's just that during college time, I was, of course, studying science, and then I went into gemology. And then my father, of course, he wanted me to do architecture. So I went into interior designing and I completed that as well. Wow. And it was only when I came into Malawi and started working at hospitals for management and administrative purposes is when I really got into this field and wanted to take ahead from there.
Okay, did you find a lack, or it was just something that you guys thought, okay, let's start it?
Okay, you cannot call it a lack. Basically, if you see all around the globe, even if you go to any European countries, Asian countries, any country you go to, there's always a lack of medical facilities. There's a growing population and medical facilities are limited. So you cannot say that we're trying to fill in the gap or anything, because gap is going to be there always because of the growing population. Of course, we wanted to serve the community here, and we saw that there's very less medical facilities around Malawi, so we would like to contribute to that, and that was the reason basically we started off with the Star Medical Center. Okay,
so Star Medical is a private hospital. Is it open to everybody?
Of course, it's open to everybody. In fact, this one being a private clinic, it still has a charitable aspect to it. Basically, if somebody is walked in who's really poor, needs services, they take all their services from here. Basically, they just walk in maybe with a 2,000 kwacha. They want to see the doctor, they want to get some malaria test done, they also want some medication. We cover all that. We do not let anybody walk out empty-handed from here. We give them all kind of services over here.
And I hear you have some of the top-notch doctors come in.
Yeah, of course, we do have our resident doctor, that's Dr. Nyuha Mphatso. He's also one of the founder members of MNEX Electronics and group of companies.
Wow.
And then we do have another resident doctor who is from Netherlands. That's Dr. Janet van Os. She's a tropical medicine doctor. And we also have a skin doctor who comes in once a week to consult here on Thursdays. we call those skin clinics.
So the skin clinic, is it open to everybody, or it's...
Also, it's open to everybody.
Is it payable, or it's a free
It's of course payable.
Okay.
But if somebody who's really poor and has walked in, will not be denied service.
Okay.
So that's how we work at the moment. We're also soon starting gynecology and obstetrics starting February next month. So we'll be doing that as well and covering antenatal visits for pregnant women. And we'll also be having the gynecologist over here at least once a week on a visiting basis, that is.
Okay, so what makes you stand out from other hospitals?
It's nothing about standing out. It's just that we're not a hospital wherein we admit patients or have operations and cut them open. If it's basically like an OPD center, to make a lot of patients comfortable. Not everyone likes to go to hospitals, as I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
So this is just like an OPD, outpatient department, all under one roof basically, wherein a patient can come and conveniently get all their services that they need other than being admitted, and they walk out. Okay. And a lot of them are really comfortable with it, I believe. The ones who don't really like to go to hospitals, if you know.
Myself, yeah, I'm under the weather, but that doesn't mean I'm sick. I'm just a little bit under the weather. Yeah. So what is one thing that people don't know about you? Like, what do you find fun? How does your day-to-day life look like?
Day-to-day life is just the same as what could be for almost everyone, waking up in the morning, going to work, coming back in the evening. But there's one thing that not many people know is that I play basketball as well. So that's one thing.
Wow, that's beautiful. Where do you play basketball?
I used to play at College of Medicine grounds over there. And now I do have a small court at my house, so I just play there with my kids and my brother and other family members who come in.
Okay, so that makes you married?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, just making sure that everybody knows that. Indeed. All right, I think we've tackled everything about Star Medical for now. As you've heard it for yourself, you are welcome to walking into Star Medical at any point and any time. And I believe that you also accept insurance companies.
Yes, we do accept most of the insurance companies, including MASM. That is one of the biggest service providers in the country at the moment.
Okay, okay, yeah. So you can also come in if you have an insurance. For now, I think it's goodbye until we catch you next time.
Thank you.